mean, I think the two things that drove my personal interest in it were the music here was, something that people really cared about. There was a choir that was active and engaged in the life of the church. So it felt like a bigger community, and in that sense, that was something we were looking for.
So I'm a parishioner, but I'm also the lay leader for the youth group for the high school kids called SPY, St. Paul's Youth. We are a group of St. Paul's people who love to do outreach and fellowship and fun and fundraising. Once a year we go abroad or nationally to do a service learning trip, and that takes place in April.
Before I joined the choir, I was just sitting in the seats a lot, and then when you join the choir, you actually are up there doing everything that all the other kids are doing, since maybe 8/10 of the kids in the church are actually in the choir.
Well, we do all these cool fundraisers, like the Dots program, and every beginning of the summer we hold a big festival with bouncy castles and food. And there's like these coffee hours that sometimes we participate in with our grandma. And yeah.
Yeah, the fire came. We had badgered Bob Kerr into giving us the day off on President's Day, because usually we didn't do that. And that night, I remember going to bed and thinking, St. Paul's is gone. There's just no St. Paul's anymore. And the next day we opened shop up over in the annex of Burlington Savings Bank, which they graciously loaned us. And all day long, people were coming in, bringing money and furniture and offerings of time. And when I went home that night, I said to myself, St. Paul's isn't gone, because that was just a building. It's the people who are St. Paul's.
Mm-hmm. I'd always been an Episcopalian. I was baptized one, but this space I think is really special. I love it, and it's conducive to worship too, and people seeing each other. I love the way we sit in the round. We can look at each other. We feel closer that way, I think, as a community, and it's always I've always been attracted to it. I did go to the original St. Paul's, the one that before it burned down, but we were still looking at churches then, and I liked it very much. But when we first came here, I don't know, it was just we really felt welcome, and the people were very nice, and we've stayed all this time.
As much as I give to St. Paul's, I get back, and really being part of SPY has been transformative for me. The groups and trips that we've gone on, the cultures that we've been able to experience, but the work and the service and the education that I've experienced has been transformational for me as much as the kids. So it's mutual.
The other aspect of it too is the fact that we made it deliberately created a space which was going to be inviting to organizations, and many of them musical, although not all, to use our space. And so have it wasn't just a space that was used on Sunday and then some small office somewhere was opened, right. and space for the clergy and so forth, and that was it. But I mean, I think that has been a big plus.
I moved to Vermont, where I never thought I would live. When I retired from Wesleyan University, my son was in Underhill, he and his wife, and they had some land. And when he moved here in 1997. And when I went to visit him, he said, "We want you to build a house here when you retire." It turned out that in Underhill, the zoning is 3 acres per house, And we had only 4 acres, and our neighbor who had 92 would not sell to, so I ended up building an in-law addition to his house. And if anybody had told this urban lady that she was going to live 5 miles on a dirt road, it's a little startling, but I like it. So that's what brought me here. And the first Sunday I was here, I came to the cathedral. And it turned out I was then living in the woolen mill while my house was being built. And one of my neighbors was Mark Howe.
They always built this big arch going up to the altar and covered it with greens. And we had candles all up the aisles. And Dr. Soul used to sit at the back of the church with the fire extinguisher. He was so, well, we kept him up for a while. They must have gotten pretty dry. He was so cute.
I like the warm welcomes every morning, like every time we go there. And I like how I kind of know the priest because my mom works at the church, so kind of feel welcomed.
I have never not been a member of a church, even at times when it was very hard to be. And the cathedral is home.
I just really, it was a feeling. I just walked in here and said, I'm home.